Very good. All right, so what I'm going to show you is how to do all these things, how to do a menu, how to respond to mouse clicks, how to display an image. And I'm going to do that with a simpler app first. So I have an app that displays a picture of one of my cats. And when I click on it, depending on where I click, it'll do something different. So if I click on his head, it says, "Thanks for petting my head." If I click on his belly, it says, "Thanks for petting my belly." And if I click on his feet, it says, "Don't touch my feet." Because if you have cats, you know they hate to have their feet touched. All right. So the key here is, how am I detecting where on the image it's clicking? All right, so first, how do you display an image? Let's do a new app. This is a really simple one, so we'll just start from scratch because it doesn't take much time to do. So where do we display the image? Well, I'm actually going to suggest do not select image here because that's more for static images. If you just want an image in your GUI, you're never going to do anything with it. You select image. If you actually want to interact with it and possibly change the image, put axes. I know you think of that as being more for a plot, but you can display an image in axes as well. But then you want to get rid of the X and Y labels. So come over here, X label string, just get rid of that. Y label string, get rid of that. And title, just put the name of your cat, maybe, which is Max. All right. So of course, when the application starts up, I want to display the image. So let's go to the code view. So how do you make it do something when the app starts up? Well, you add a startup function. So it's under callbacks, but under UI figure, which is just the overall app, basically, startup function. Okay, so that's kind of the default when you click on add a callback. So we're going to add a startup function. So this is just something that will be executed when the app starts up. So I'm going to do IAMShow. I showed you this last time. The name of the file. But there's one more thing you need here. When you're doing this in an app, you do parent, and then you put the handle for those axes where you want to display it. Actually, let me not put it in first, and you'll see what happens. And so if I just do IAMShow max.jpg, it's going to open a new window, which is not what I want. Okay, so it didn't display it here where I wanted. It opened a new figure window. Okay, so to make it do it in the GUI, you put parent. I don't know why they call it that, but that's what they call it, parent app dot, and whatever the handle is. And if you look at those axes, by default, the handle will be UI axes. It's not done yet. There we go. Okay. All right. So now it's displaying it in the GUI. Okay. Now I need one more thing for this simple app. First, I'm going to make this a little bigger, I think. I just need a label to display that message. So I'm going to take a label, put it wherever I want to put it. It doesn't really matter. Make it so that by default, it doesn't say anything. And also maybe change the font color to red so it shows up better. All right. All right, so now I want to display something in that label, which is still there, even though you can't see it. whenever I do a mouse click. So how do you detect a mouse click? And just to speed things up here, I'm just going to copy it from my other app. But we want this to happen when we click on the image, and the callback for that is going to be window button down. Okay, so it's UI figure window button down. That's responding to a mouse click. Okay, so I added another callback. And then the code to detect where I clicked on it, I'm just going to copy that from my existing one. And then explain it. Okay, so to get the click position, it's app.uiaxes.current_point. All right, so when you click on the mouse or you click the mouse button, this callback will get executed, and it will then interrogate what were the coordinates where that mouse click occurred. Okay. So let's just do that and see what happens, see what we get. Let me just click up here somewhere. All right. So you can see I need to stretch that so we can display the message, but let's go look in the command window and see what it displayed. See, it displayed a set of coordinates, and those are the X and Y positions. So you can just kind of do it by trial and error. So when I clicked on his head, I got these numbers. If I click kind of in the middle, I got these numbers. And if I click near the bottom, I got these numbers. And so obviously it's the Y coordinate that's changing for the most part, because I'm going kind of down the middle here. So I want to look at the second one. Now, I've never quite understood why it gives me two rows. I think this might be like when the mouse was clicked and then when it was released or something like that. But anyway, we only need one of the two. So I just want to pick out this number because that tells me vertically where I clicked. So click position is going to be a matrix because it's going to return, whoops. It's going to return this set of numbers. So I want to get the second number in the first row. So I do click position of 1, 2. Okay. And then again, just by trial and error, I determine what's a proper range of numbers. And you'll notice as I move down, the Y coordinate increases. So the plus Y direction is downward. So if Y is less than 1,000, that means I click near the top. If it's more than 1,000, but less than 1,500, that's kind of in the middle. And if it's more than 1,500, that's near the bottom. Okay. So it's basically just the number of pixels where the upper left corner is 0, 0. All right, so that's all there is to detecting a mouse click. So the key thing is what callback do you add? It's the window button down callback. And then you use app.uiaxes, so whatever the handle is for those axes, .current_point. Okay. All right. Any question about that one? All right, I think that's all I wanted for this app. Just to be complete, let me go ahead and expand this. All right, so I showed you how to do a startup function, how to display an image in the GUI, and then how to detect mouse clicks and determine where they occurred. All right.